Today I just want to talk to you a bit about mindset and also the kind of business aspect of running a business, running a pottery business. So the advice you get online at the moment about pottery business is either how you can work out your hourly wage, which seems a bit bizarre that you need to know that, and how you can work out your wholesale rate, right? Which is interesting because you don't see artists doing this, do you? You don't see artists saying, I've bought a canvas for $10, that means I have to charge at least $20. And the paint that I've used on the canvas has cost me $20, that means I have to charge at least $50. You don't see artists doing that at all. They just pick a number out and say, there we go, $500, right? And it's not the same with potters, is it? Anyway, so nowadays, it's never been easier to start your own business. It's never been easier in the history of the world to start your own business and to reach your supporters, to reach your audience, potential customers, to get your work seen, get your work out there, build fans, build followers, and start living off your ceramics. Yeah, honestly, it's never been easier. You can start today. Okay, so these are my 3 tips that I want to share with you about how you can start and scale your pottery business. All right, so let's jump in. If you think about business, big businesses, so you've got the CEO of a business. Do you think he spends time doing research and development himself? Calling customers on the phone, doing sales, doing marketing, doing the accounting? No, he doesn't. He outsources it to the people who are good in their own departments in the business. Okay? So he's got a team of people that are good at accounting, a team of people that are good at sales and marketing, a team of people that look after the customers. So why do we as self-employed people think that we have to wear all these different hats, and work on it all ourselves? We think that we have to do absolutely everything to run our business. Yeah, but we don't. We don't. We have to figure out how to run it like a business. And that's by outsourcing it and figuring out the who, not the how. Let's imagine you just decided you want to start a pottery business. And you think to yourself, hey, I need some pottery tools, I need a pottery wheel, I need a kiln, I need some clay, I need some glazes. Yeah? Do you then sit down and try and draw some blueprints for a kiln and try and figure out how you can weld it all yourself? Do you then try and learn electronics to make your own motor to go inside a pottery wheel and try and fabricate all of the plastic and stuff? Do you sit down and say, right, I need to go get some clay, so I'm going to go find out where the clay is, I'm going to go process it, de-air it and everything? Do you then go put your lab coat on and say, right, I'm going to mix all these different ingredients and make my own glazes and test them and things like this? No, you don't. You go and buy commercial glazes. So why then do we, as self-employed people, entrepreneurs, think that we have to do everything ourselves in terms of your logo, your website, your photography, your accounting? So this is called the who, not the how. Okay, so what happens is you're this person down here and you've decided you want to sell pottery. And over here is your vision. Okay, so that's the pottery business that you're dreaming about. Living off your ceramics, having enough customers, happy customers to support your artistic endeavors, right? And what happens is you're walking down the path towards your vision and you're trying to reach there. So this is you walking down the path. This is to reach your vision. And so what happens with us self-employed entrepreneurial types is that we try and do everything ourselves. So first of all, we'd think, what do I need then? I want to start selling online. So first of all, I need a logo, okay? So then I think, how can I do a logo? How can I create a logo? Yeah, so what happens is that on our road to our vision, we get stuck and we get derailed by trying to figure out how we can overcome these obstacles. Okay, and we get caught in a kind of spiral like this. And if you've ever made your own logo or made your own website, you could be in this spiral trying to figure out how to overcome this obstacle for, hours, days, weeks, months. And you start thinking to yourself, I want to start selling my pottery, but I can't yet because I haven't got a logo. I want to start selling online, but I can't yet because I haven't got a logo. And you try and figure it out all yourself. And what happens here is you start to procrastinate. You get stuck. You can't move forward towards your vision because you're in this spiral. So then what is the better way to do this? Okay, so the better way, the better question to ask is not how can I do this myself? It's who can I get to do this for me? Who do I know that could do this for me? Or who could I hire to do this for me? Okay, so if you hire someone and you find the right who, they actually move you closer towards your vision. So this is the who. Does that make sense? So instead of figuring out how you can do it all yourself and getting caught up and stuck, you actually figure out who can do this thing for you, and then you move forwards towards your own vision, okay? So here we've got Mr. Logo Man, for example, and he's been making logos by himself for the last 30 years, yeah? So he can make you a logo within an hour, probably, you know? And it's going to be a lot better than your logo that you've been working hard on for the last 30 hours, 40 hours, you know? And he's an expert. So why wouldn't you outsource this and get an expert to make your logo for you? You know, it's going to be your brand. It's what is going to relate to your customers for the next 20 years, you know? This is the face of your pottery business, your baby. So you need to make it look as good as possible. And it's not expensive. You know, this guy might charge you $100 for a logo. But if you've got it for the next 20 years, you know, it's like £5 a year. It's nothing. And it saved you a lot of time as well. It saved you a lot of time and a lot of heartache and a lot of sweat and tears, you know, trying to figure out how to do it yourself and getting stuck along the way. And a lot of this is to do with a term called opportunity cost. Okay, so opportunity cost is a very simple formula. Basically, it works down to this. Hands up if you got a second job or a supplementary income to, you know, further your passion for pottery. I imagine you do. I think most of us do here. So how much do you earn in your full-time job or your second job? You could earn, I don't know, $10, $20, $50. You could even earn $100 an hour, yeah? So let's just say, whatever, $20 an hour. If you're making a logo, for example, and you have to, you know, find out the right software to use, you have to download it, you have to figure out how to use it, watch some YouTube tutorials. You then have to go find the fonts and choose a color scheme and choose some logos and see if it fits to you personally as a brand. It could take you, I don't know, a week. You know, like a week full-time work, 30 or 40 hours, okay? So if we just say it's taken you 30 hours, that is then $600. That is then $600. Come on, Toffee. That is then $600 that you could have earned in your job, yeah? And instead, you spent $600 basically trying to figure out how to make a logo yourself. So if you could get a logo for less than $600, it would be totally worth it for you to do. Because that's then 30 hours that you could be spent doing other stuff, you know, working in your pottery studio, figuring out your next line of pots, or, you know, figuring out the right glaze combos to use. You're working then 30 hours to achieve your creative vision. And it applies also to real life as well. For example, I live in Austria here, and every year it snows like a meter throughout the winter. And every year, like 5 or 10 times a year, I have to go out and shovel snow from my front door down to the car park. And I've got about, don't know, 5 sets of steps till I reach the car. Okay? And this is my front door here. And this is me with a shovel. Okay, so every year it snows, and every year I think to myself, what do I want at the end of this? I need to clear the pathway, okay? So I imagine a big pile of snow at the end near the car, okay? That's what I think I need, yeah? So I start off by shoveling the snow, and I make a pile, and I shovel it down onto the next step, okay? And then after that, I shovel all of this snow down onto the next step. I shovel all of the snow now onto the next step and then onto the next step, okay? So by the time I've reached this step here, so it's like the 5th step, I'm actually shoveling like 5 steps worth of snow. All of this is now here as well, yeah? And now I have to shovel that all the way down here onto the next step and onto the next step, all right? To try and get to this big pile of snow down there. And as you can imagine, it gets incrementally harder the further you get down your path, yeah? This is like a literal example of this. And I've been doing this like the last 5 years at least, 5 times a year. Yes, literally starting from my front door and shoveling the snow all the way down the path to try and reach this big, to try and reach my goal of this big pile of snow at the bottom. Because that's what I thought success would look like for this, right? That's what I imagined in my mind's eye, a nice clear path and a big pile of snow by the car, yeah? But it's incredibly hard to do that. Like it'd take me hours to do that because every single step along the way, I'd be shoveling more and more snow further on. And I was carrying all this garbage with me, like all this baggage, I was like shoveling it with me, yeah? And it wasn't until last year I was actually stood at the bottom going, right, I've made a nice pile of snow. That's not actually what I wanted to achieve. Yeah, that wasn't actually the goal. The goal was to get the steps clean. Yeah, and there's a big difference between those two, isn't there? And once I thought about that, so once I took a step back and actually thought about the problem, I realized that actually instead of shoveling it down, like shoveling the snow to the next step, I should shovel it to the side, yeah, tick it off, that step's done. Next step, shovel this snow to the side, tick it off, that step's done, move on to the next step, okay? And this is kind of the same in business as well. Literally, you're thinking about starting a business, so you go, right, I need a logo design, I need a website, I need an online shop, I need business cards, I need social media, I need an Instagram account, Facebook account, YouTube account, I need email addresses, I need posters, and it gets overwhelming and you're literally trying to do all of these different steps and pushing them all the way with you. And eventually you get down here and you're like 5 years into the future and you've not actually ticked any of these steps off, yeah? You're still trying to struggle with them a couple of years later, right? So what you need is literally like a checklist, tells you exactly what you need to do and you tick it off. You spend time working on your logo. Once you've done it and you're happy with it, tick it off, yeah? You spend time on your website. Once you're happy with it, tick it off. Don't try and do everything at the same time and shovel the snow all the way to the end, all right? Because it's going to take you a lot longer. It's going to be a lot harder as well. All right, so if you agree, getting a checklist is far better than trying to struggle with it all yourself. How could you do it better? All right, so this comes into the opportunity cost thing again. Instead of me spending time shoveling the snow, I know I've got 10 steps here to do. Instead of me standing there and shoveling the snow, I could pay someone to do it. Yeah, then it's a lot easier for me. I don't waste 2 hours of my time. I get someone else to come in. He's a Mr. Professional snow shoveler and he's got, 2 shovels and all the right tools, yeah? I don't have to mess around making my own shovel. He's got all the right tools to do it. So, for example, if he's a logo designer, he's got Photoshop installed, he knows exactly how to do it. He's been doing logos for the last 30 years, yeah? He can tick it off and he can do it within, an hour instead of taking me like 30 hours, all right? So if you outsource all of this as well, it's a lot easier. So, literal example of how to outsource stuff. First of all, don't try and do everything yourself for the whole time. Make a plan, tick it off one at a time, okay? And secondly, think about if you can outsource it as well to make your life easier, to make your, and also to get better results, yeah? Okay, so that's my snow story, my snow shoveling story. I hope that kind of made sense. So this is secret number 2. How can you attract customers and make sales and get your customers to purchase more and more from you without being an extroverted, sleazy salesperson? And the trick for this is what we call marketing and sales funnels. Basically, It's figuring out how you can make your customer the happiest. And this is where a lot of people have a weird sort of relationship with money. They think sales funnels are all about just making the most money. Yeah? It's all about how can I get this person to spend the most money. That's completely wrong, okay? That's the completely wrong mindset. In fact, it's all about how can I make my customer the happiest, okay? There's a massive difference there. Even though by making your customer happier, you can probably charge more money. But if you focus on making more money, you're going to have unhappy customers. But if you focus on how you can make your customer the happiest, you're going to make more money. So let's do a quick example. So this is you here. And you decide that you want to start pottery, okay? So you go to the pottery shop and you say, hey, Mr. Salesperson, I would like some pottery tools because I want to start pottery. And the salesperson says, yeah, sure, here you go. Here's the, set of beginner's tools that you need, to start doing pottery at home. So I go, oh, great, thank you, excellent. And that's where the transaction could end. I could get my pottery tools and I could say, here's some money for them, and I could go home. And I'd be happy because I've got what I wanted, okay? But if the salesperson says, you've got your tools now, what else would you need? Have you got some clay at home? I'd be like, oh, actually, good point. Here's, I'd like to buy some clay. And the salesperson's like, here's the bag of clay. It's only $20, you can have that. And I'd be like, yeah, great, fine, I'll take that. Now, I'm happy because I've got pottery tools and I've got clay. Yeah, so I can go home now and I can actually start to work on some clay. And he's happy because he's just sold me one item and a second item. Yeah? So he's increased his turnover and I've increased my happiness. So what he could say then is, you've got the pottery tools, you've got the clay. Have you got an apron? You don't want your clothes getting messy. And I could say, yeah, good point. I don't want to get my clothes messy. I'll buy the apron as well. So now I'm happier again. Yeah? So he's happy and I'm happy. And we could go further. He could say, at the moment we've got an offer on pottery wheels. And this one's perfect for beginners. Because it's so small and it collapses, and I'd be like, oh, cool, that sounds actually great. You mean today I can start doing pottery? Okay, so I can literally go home now. I've got the tools, I've got the clay, I've got the apron, I've got the pottery wheel. And obviously you could go further and say, we've got a special on a mini kiln, and also it plugs into your normal outlet, and it's perfect for beginners. And yeah, I could say that as well. So he's allowed me to continue making purchases up until where I'm most happy. Okay? A lot of people just focus on the first sale and then they never see the customer again. And yeah, if everyone buys this, so 100 people buy it, maybe only, 70 people buy the clay, they've decided that they're happy there. Maybe another, 65 people add the apron as well, and that's where they've reached their optimum happiness. They don't need the wheel, they don't need the kiln, maybe 10 people buy the wheel, and maybe one person buys a kiln, But you've allowed this one person to buy the kiln, to buy everything up until where they're most happy. Yeah? And this is what a sales funnel is. And a lot of people really just focus on the first sale and they don't even think about how they could make their customer the happiest. So let's say you're a teacher and you're giving pottery lessons. What is the best thing you could offer your students? Yeah? What would make them the happiest? In terms of teaching, it's probably like a month-long intensive workshop, right? So they're there with you every day for a whole month. And if you offered that, you'd have to figure out how much it cost, $5,000. What's the second best thing you could offer? Maybe a week course. So they come with you for 5 days, every day. You teach them every day, and that could be worth $1,000. And then below that, you've probably got blocks of 10 hours, and you've probably got, per hour, you've probably got a free half an hour there as well, where people can, just experience it, right? So a lot of people, might just come to the free session and say, thanks, it's not for me. After the free session, most people would say, yeah, I'd like to book another hour or two. after that, they'd be, yeah, I'd like to book 10 hours now. Maybe out of 100 people, 10 people say, I'm really interested in a week-long intensive course because I really think that this is going to be for me. And from these 10 people, maybe one says, I'd love to do a month intensive workshop with you. I want to be here every single day and learn from you, intensively. By having a sales funnel like this, you've allowed this one person to be as happy as they possibly can be, okay? Sure, you've made money doing it, you just made 5 grand, whatever. But it's not about that, it's about how can you get your customer the happiness. So let's imagine that you're at an art fair, okay? And you're selling your mugs for $50, yeah? What would happen normally at an art fair is that you sell your mug and the person that bought it walks away happy, okay? But what should you be doing instead is offering them a way to be even more happy, yeah? So what you could offer instead is 3 mugs extra to the 1 mug, okay? So here you've got your 3 mugs. And now they've got a set of 4 mugs. And you could offer these 3 mugs for, $100, okay? So you're giving one for free. And they're going to be happy with the 1 mug for $50. And, they might have wanted 4 mugs, but they were thinking, oh, it's going to be $200. That's just too much. Instead, you give them 3 extra mugs for $100. They're happy because they've got 4 mugs now for $150. And you're happy because you've just increased your turnover, yeah? You've sold 4 mugs instead of 1, okay? So always think about how you can make your customer the happiest, all right? As well as this, you could say, I've also got some coasters. Try and sell coasters as well with the mugs. If you sold 4 mugs, then say, I've also got a teapot that'll fit really well with your mugs. I've also got a vase that would fit really well with your mugs. But as long as you're thinking about the options that the people can choose, to reach that optimal happiness, that's what you should be doing, okay? Does that make sense? Okay, so a lot of people ask, how do you actually get customers and find customers, okay? And this all comes down to a marketing funnel. So what is a marketing funnel? If you imagine, it looks a bit like a funnel, okay? And you've got different sections within the funnel. The top of the funnel is full of people that don't know you yet, okay? So these are the people that are walking down the street and have no idea that you exist. They're the people scrolling through Facebook and Instagram and they've got no idea that you exist, right? And they're at the top of the funnel. And it's your job to grab their attention and bring them down the funnel closer towards you, okay? So here in the middle of the funnel, we've got some happy little people and they know about you. So you're known, okay? And so they know about you, they know what work you do, they're quite interested in the things that you do, and they want to know more about you, okay? And down here, at the bottom of the funnel, you've got your fans. And obviously then you can send your fans down to your sales funnel that we were just talking about. So a marketing funnel basically has 2 jobs, okay? First of all, it's to obtain a lead, and a lead is just a potential customer. And once you've got this lead, so once you've gotten the potential customer in your marketing funnel, your second job is to turn them into a customer, okay? And that's it. That's all the marketing funnel is, 2 things. Get someone that's interested in you, so a potential customer, and turn them into a customer, okay? And you do that by bringing them from the unknown to knowing about you, and then turning them into your fans, okay? And then sending them down your sales funnel. So again, if you imagine that we're in town, okay, and the people walking down the street are foot traffic. That's what you call foot traffic, okay? And the people walking into the shops and the galleries as well, that's also the foot traffic for the shops and galleries, yeah? And so the job for a shop or a gallery is to grab the attention of the passers-by walking down the high street and to divert them into their shops and into their galleries, yeah? And you have to do the same, okay? So you have to go in front of the customers and advertise to them, get their attention and get them to come into your shop. And it's just the same online, okay? Traffic online is people, just the same. But they're not walking down the high street. They're on Facebook and they're scrolling through Instagram and they're looking at videos on YouTube, okay? But they're still people, All right, so traffic is people. So there are 3 types of traffic, and this works for online and offline as well. So the first type of traffic is the traffic that you can earn, okay? And this is the traffic that you work for. So you're either on Facebook or you're on Instagram or you're on YouTube. So you're creating content on Facebook and you're earning the ability to reach these people that don't know you by posting on Facebook, okay? If you're posting on Instagram, you're creating content and putting it onto Instagram, okay, in order to reach these people that don't know about you up here at the top of the funnel. So you're earning your way to reach the traffic on Instagram. Same with YouTube. If you're producing videos for YouTube, you're producing content for YouTube in order for you to reach their traffic, okay? There's like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. So that's stuff that you earn. You could also, apply to different blogs and say, I want to write a guest article for you. And that would also be you earning the traffic of the blog, because you have to actually write, a blog article and submit it, okay? You could also, get asked to do a podcast, and there you'd have to earn your way onto the podcast because you'd have to be quite good in order to get asked on, but when you do get asked on, then you've earned the traffic of all the people listening to that podcast. You've reached them, so they're no longer unknown, they're now known, okay? And same thing with shops and galleries, so just offline shops and galleries in real life, you have to earn your way there, yeah? Either they approach you because they know about you, or you approach them and you have to work in order to get inside the shops and inside the galleries and inside the restaurants and any other local businesses, okay? You have to earn your way into there. The thing about earning traffic is, first of all, it's free to do, yeah? You're just paying with your time, okay? And you can reach large audiences by doing this. So if you get features on a blog, you've now reached all these different people that don't know about you, okay? You've taken their audience that they've spent ages to build up on their own, and you've reached their audience with your work, okay? Same if you get, featured on a podcast, or if you go into a shop or a gallery as well. You reach their audiences, their traffic, okay? Earning traffic is free, but it takes time, yeah? You're trading your time for the traffic that you get. And you don't own this traffic either, yeah? Mr. Mark Zuckerberg's own the traffic from Facebook and from Instagram. Google own the traffic from YouTube. And at any time they can say, I don't like your work, I'm going to turn off your account, Or they can say, thanks for promoting your work. I'm actually going to put an advert on top of your work that everyone sees. Or next to your work, I'm going to advertise someone else's product, So you don't control any of this traffic. None at all, yeah? You're just earning it, and you're basically renting the space, yeah? Does that make sense? You're renting, if you imagine you're renting a shop on the high street, this is what you're doing, okay? So you're paying Facebook or Instagram or YouTube to get your work seen by your target audience, but you're paying them to do it, okay? So you're not earning it by spending time actually on social media and working that way. You're paying them to do it. So it's a lot quicker than earning your traffic, yeah? Because you're going just straight to it. They're going to start doing it for you, okay? It's like getting Mr. Mark Zuckerberg walking down the high street, handing out your flyers and handing out your business cards to the people passing by, okay? That's what paid traffic is. And it's the same. So, for example, if you're doing workshops or you're a teacher, you might take an advert out in the magazine, so a Pottery magazine, or you might take an advert out in your local newspaper, yeah? So they're also paid traffic, okay? And that could be online and offline as well. And in this category as well, you've also got shops and galleries, yeah? Because you're still paying them. You've had to earn the traffic to get in there, you've had to actually approach them, or you've had to be approached by them, but you still have to pay for it as well, yeah? Because you're giving them 50% of your profit. Shops and galleries are both paid and earned traffic, okay? And like I said, it's a lot faster. So if you start with just $5 a day, you could reach a lot more people on Facebook or Instagram than you could, earning your way by spending time on social media, okay? So if you spend $5 a day on Instagram, for example, you could reach 10,000 people, how long would it take you to actually go into Instagram and like and comment and reach 10,000 people with your work? So it's a lot faster, okay? But obviously there's some negatives as well. Like there's no guarantee you're going to get profit, yeah? But this is also kind of like going to an art fair. You know, when you go to an art fair, you spend $500 to rent the stall, yeah? You've got no guarantee that you're going to make profit from that, okay? So that's kind of the same. You know, you're still, either online or at the art fair renting the stall, you're still paying for a space where people are going to see it, like the traffic or the foot traffic is going to walk past and see your work, okay? The second thing about it is that it costs money. First of all, it costs you time trying to figure out how to set it all up yourself, or it costs you money by outsourcing it and letting someone else set it up for you. And it also costs money for actually running the adverts, okay? So there's actually 3 costs involved with paid advertising. You know, also creating the creatives and things like that. But it's a lot faster, okay? You know, so if you've got an open studio coming up or a workshop or you're restocking your online shop, you could spend time promoting it yourself on social media and, you know, everywhere else, earning the traffic. Or you could actually pay for it and it'll be a lot quicker to pay for it, okay? You're going to see results a lot quicker. And if you're doing paid traffic, there are only 2 things to focus on, okay? It's really, really actually quite easy. It's really simple. It's the CPA versus the ACV, okay? So that's the cost per acquisition. So how much does it actually cost you to get a customer versus the average cart value, okay? So how much profit did you make on average per sale, yeah? So if you're doing, you know, like an art fair and you've paid $1,000 or, you know, $500 for the stall, you have to then figure out how many sales did you make. You know, if the stall cost you $500 and you made 100 sales, yeah, then that is going to be $5. Your cost per acquisition is $5. Yeah, so for every sale, it's cost you $5 to make the sale. Yeah, and say, I don't know, you sell $50 mugs. So this, your average cart value could be $50, okay? And in this case, you've just 10 times your money, yeah? So you would have paid $500 for the stall and you would have come away with $5,000, yeah? I mean, your actual profit might then be $2,500, but still, that's what you have to think about. As long as this number is less than this number, that's fine, you know? That's all you have to think about. So it's super easy, it's really simple. That's just the 2 things you have to think about, okay? All right, so that's earned traffic and that's paid traffic, okay? The next type of traffic is the best, okay? Literally, it's what you should be striving for in your business. It's the most valuable thing for your business, really. And that is the traffic that you own, okay? You own the traffic, all right? So what do I mean by that? How do you own traffic? So this could be a list of your past customers, okay? And you might have their, you know, names, their addresses, what they purchased, their telephone numbers, their email addresses. You know, this is the value in your business, okay? Having a list of past customers and their purchases. It's also a list of your potential customers, yeah? So these are people that are interested in your work, but they haven't yet bought. Okay, and that is normally so names and email addresses. Okay, if you think about it, how much would you pay me right now if I said to you, I'm going to give you a list of 1,000 people that love your work, that are interested in your work? How valuable is that for you? You know, it's super valuable, right? Because then you could market to these people and you could sell your work to these 1,000 people. If you're not doing this at the moment, then you're missing out big time. Because if you remember with the sales funnel, you need to get these people, like your customers, to purchase more from you. Yeah, you need to have their details so you can offer them as much as you can and make them as happy as possible. Okay, and if you're not doing that, you're missing out on money. It's the same with potential customers. So again, if you go to the art fair and you spend $500 on a stall, you might have people walking past the whole time and showing interest in your work. Yeah, if you're not grabbing their details and actually writing it down, You're just letting people walk away, potential customers walk away. You're losing money. If you're an art fair and you've paid for a stall, you need to get every single email address you can, every single name you can, and write down exactly what they're interested in. Because then next week you could, market to them and you could sell to them and you could make a sale, It's the same with past customers. If you've got a list of telephone numbers, you could tomorrow, if you wanted to, you could call them up and say, I'm having a shop update tomorrow. Please check out my website. Or you could say, I've got a workshop at the weekend. Are you interested to come along? If you've got their addresses, you could send them a letter or you could send them a postcard about your next workshop or your next event, If you've got their purchase history, you could say, hey, I know you've bought 4 mugs from me so far. Would you be interested in, either 4 more mugs or a vase or a whole service? You can start tailoring that to them because you know what they've purchased, what they like, and you've got all their information, okay? This is also why traditional shops and galleries aren't that great for you, because you don't get to do that, They sell to the customer and then the customer's gone. They don't spend time, promoting your work after the sale. They don't spend time following up with the customer, seeing what else they could offer them, do they? They just want to sell their stock. They just want to sell their inventory. They don't even care if it's your work that they sell. They just want to sell their stock and get it out the door, okay? Which is why you should be selling yourself and you should have your own list, okay? Really, it's the most important thing you can do is get your own list, okay? You could wake up tomorrow and say, right, I want to email all of my past customers and all my potential customers about an upcoming event. Yeah, it would take you ages to earn the traffic that you could get if you just sent an email out to your past customers and your potential customers. Yeah, it would take you, hours or days to actually go and message everyone and make sure everyone sees it. Cost you a lot of money as well to promote a post or to take out an advert or to pay for the people to see it. You can just send an email and you'd reach them all for free. Yeah, you've already got you own it. You don't need to pay Facebook to promote it. You don't need to go on Instagram and YouTube and actually earn your way, earn your traffic. You own it. You own the emails, you own the names and their past history, their purchase history. You could just send them emails. And it's for free, basically. Sure, you could send, letters and postcards and you could call them up on the phone, but it's cheaper and it's easier to send emails. But everyone knows how to send an email and everyone knows how to read an email and everyone does read their emails until they get, annoyed that they're getting spammed too much or it's just becoming irrelevant to them, But up until that point, they'll read every single email they get that lands in their inbox, okay? So as long as you're sending relevant emails that are interesting and exciting, then you're always going to land in the customer's inbox and you're always going to get them to open it and you're always going to be building up your relationship with this customer, okay? And that's how you get people from unknown down to knowing you and then becoming your fans and sending them into your sales funnel, okay? So how do you get then a list of potential customers or past customers? So if you're selling at an art fair, then you'd literally say, join my email list and I'll give you a $5 discount, Or join my email list and I'll give you a 10% discount voucher right now today. Yeah? That's how you get their names and emails, okay? And then that they're interested in your work and you can send them an email afterwards. How would you get a customer's email, a potential customer's email if you're selling online? So if you're selling online at the moment, you're probably using Etsy, okay? And I would hope you've actually, built your own marketing funnel. So you're sending probably people from Instagram down to Etsy, and that is a marketing funnel, all right? But as well, you're sending them straight from Instagram to Etsy without collecting their information. So they could go onto Etsy and just, have a look around and bounce back again. What you should be doing instead is getting them from Instagram to your email list and then to Etsy. So how would you do this? You would say, again, join up to my email list and get exclusive offers, get 10% off, get a free welcome gift, get early access to Etsy updates, you know. You need to get people's email addresses before you send them down to Etsy, yeah? Because once you've got your email, you know, the next email you could send would be about Etsy, or you could send them back up to your Facebook page or your Instagram page or your website or your latest YouTube video, you know? And if you send them emails all the time like this, then you're building up your relationship with them, yeah? So basically, email is like the glue of your marketing funnel, okay? It's what holds everything together, all right? You could literally send, like if you've got a list here of your potential customers and your past customers, you could literally send, you know, one email going up to your Facebook page saying, hey, this is my new Facebook post. Or you could send one to your Instagram post saying, you know, check out my Instagram page for my latest stories. Or you could send them, maybe you've been featured, you know, like in a blog post over here, you know, send them to that. Or maybe you could, you know, send them to a link to one of your Etsy shops, okay? So then you'd be sending them down here into your sales funnel. So you could personalize all these emails as well by taking their purchase history into account and seeing, you know, what are they interested in? What have they shown interested in? I'm going to send emails based on that interest, yeah? So that, you know, you've seen these before. If you put something in your shopping cart and then like 2 hours later you get an email saying, hey, I'm still in your shopping cart, you've forgotten about me, you know, come and finish your order. We've all seen those emails, right? And it's pretty easy to do. And you can do that as soon as you start having a list of potential customers and a list of past customers, yeah? You can start doing it. It's not just for big brands and big businesses, it's for you as well. Now, what's the best way to get people onto your email list? It's by doing giveaways, okay? So you might have seen Instagram giveaways already. They're very popular within the ceramics community. Everyone wants to do them. Everyone thinks that as soon as they get their first 500 fans or their first 1,000 fans, they can do a giveaway. There's a big problem at the moment with Instagram giveaways because you're keeping all of your traffic on Instagram, okay? You're not bringing them closer to you. You're not bringing them closer down the funnel. You're keeping them on Instagram. And as we saw before, you're earning that traffic, okay? And the plan is to own the traffic. So if you're not familiar with an Instagram giveaway, basically you post a photo of the thing that you're going to give away. You write down in the description a load of complicated rules and you say, you know, tag 3 people to get 3 more entries. Tag, you know, every person that you tag gets another entry into the giveaway. And then at the time of the giveaway, you have to then make a list of everyone that's commented, make a list of everyone that's shared it. So the idea behind Instagram giveaways is great. You're trying to get your post to go viral. You're trying to reach as many people as possible up your funnel, and you're trying to bring them down into your Instagram page. Yeah, and you're doing that by trying to force people to tag their friends. Okay, but if you think about this, the people that are tagging their friends aren't thinking about who actually likes your work. They're just tagging the easiest people to tag. Yeah. So just type @A and then tag the first person, B, tag the first person. All right, and these people are getting forced to enter your giveaway. They're not, you know, they haven't self-selected and said, yeah, I want to be in. They're getting tagged by someone else. Yeah, and it's incredibly hard to do that as well. No one's got the time to tag 50 people. Yeah, you're only going to tag 1 or 2 people. All right. And you're keeping everyone on Instagram as well. So it's incredibly hard to share your giveaway with the larger community out there, with your larger audience. So you're missing potential customers by doing that, by just limiting it on Instagram. Okay? So what's the best way to do a giveaway? All right? Because the idea of a giveaway is great. You know, try and go viral, reach as many people as you can that don't know about you. Get them down into your marketing funnel so they do know about you. Get them into your email list and into your online shop and down into your sales funnel. All right. And the best way to do a giveaway is by using viral giveaway software. So there's a good website called kingsumo.com. I'll link that down below and I'll give you a demonstration down below about how to use that and how to set that up for your own giveaways. Basically, you go onto the website and you create a giveaway and then you can link it with into your Instagram account, okay? And instead of them people tagging on the Instagram post and tagging their friends and all this lot, they actually click the link in your biography or in your stories or wherever, and they land on the giveaway page. And to enter the giveaway, they give you their name and their email address, okay? And on the next page, there's a big button saying share. Okay, and they can share your giveaway directly onto every other social media network, and they can copy the link as well, and they can share it via email. And when someone signs up through their link, then they get extra entries into the giveaway. Okay, so you're bypassing the whole tagging friends and things. All they have to do is sign up for the giveaway. On the very next page, they get a special code to copy, so a special link to copy. They share that with their friends, and whoever signs up for your giveaway, they get then the points for it. Okay, and by doing this, you're owning the traffic, right? You're siphoning off the traffic from Instagram, yeah, that you have to earn to get, and you're siphoning it off into your email list, and you own your email list. Okay, so at the end of the giveaway, instead of having an extra 300 followers on your Instagram account, you've actually now got a list of 300 email addresses of people that love your work. Yeah, they've seen what you're giving away, and they've decided, right, I really want to win that. I really like it. I'm going to give this person my name and email address, so I've got a chance to win. Yeah, they're a potential customer. Okay, and that's what you need on your email list, right? Potential customers and past customers. Okay, so like I said, I'll give you a demonstration below on how to use giveaways. It's really easy. Honestly, you can set it up in 5 minutes and off you go. Okay, start building your list by doing a giveaway, and then you can use your email list to build up relationships with your customers, with your potential customers and your past customers, get them to purchase more and more from you, and generally lead them down into your sales funnel. All right, so I hope that's made sense. First of all, think about how you can make your customer the happiest by using sales funnels. Yeah. Secondly, think about how you can earn your traffic or pay for your traffic, or ideally start to own your traffic. And then by using your marketing funnel, you're taking someone from being unknown, so they don't know about you, to they know about you. They care about you. They're your fan. They're your top fan. They buy everything that you put out there. This is how you do it, by using marketing funnels. Okay, and the easiest way to get started today is by doing a giveaway. Yeah. All right, guys. So I hope that made sense. I know I was talking a lot about logo designers and things, but keep in mind that I was also talking about photographers photographing your work, accountants looking after your numbers, virtual assistants that can update your online shop. So really anything that you don't enjoy within your business that you can outsource, really try to do it. Okay. So anyway, that was the basic overview of sales funnels, marketing funnels. If you want to get a deeper dive into the online marketing strategies and all this lot, I'm hosting an intensive workshop all about online marketing, and you can see the details down below in the link. All right. Cheers now. Bye-bye.